Hello. Today I wanted to talk to you and bring it to your attention the fact of sabotage. Now, sabotage can come in all guises. And I really wanted to share a little bit about how you could potentially be sabotaging yourself. Now, the most common sabotage is when you are not adhering to the food list. Now, I wanted to dive a little deeper about why sticking to this list is so crucial for success. By the way, I've been researching this list for a very, very long time so that you don't have to. The most common is that you may have a friend who might have been on our program and they've added a veg, like mushrooms, for example, and it's worked for her. Or I have a client who know that cauliflower is good for them and then wonder why the program isn't working. There is a huge power in anti-inflammatory foods. And as you know, this program and my other programs, Fast Track to Health and Ultimate Detox, are designed around the principle of consuming low inflammatory foods. And these foods play a pivotal role in what your weight drop journey. And here is why they are so important. I know I've already covered many of these before, but I want to reiterate it. By reducing inflammation in your body, you're actually enabling your body to heal itself. Chronic inflammation, as in long-term inflammation, can hinder your weight loss progress and lead to various health issues. Inflammation is a natural immune response in the body as a defense mechanism against infections, injuries, or toxins. However, chronic inflammation can lead to various health issues, including, of course, weight gain and obesity. So this is a little bit on how it works. Chronic inflammation disrupts the balance of hormones in the body, particularly those related to appetite and metabolism. This disruption can lead to increased cravings for unhealthy foods and, in turn, a decreased ability to fire up your metabolic rate. Plus, inflammation can contribute to insulin resistance. Now, you've heard me talk about this often over the last few days. However, you must understand why we are sticking to the foods on the list. Now, we come to fat cell inflammation. Adipose tissue, as in your unwanted white fat cells, more about our other fat cells in a minute, can become inflamed in chronic inflammation. Inflamed fat cells release chemicals called cytokines, which can further promote inflammation throughout the body and hinder weight loss further. So what are cytokines? Cytokines are small proteins produced by various cells in your body, including immune cells, to facilitate communication between your cells. They are crucial in the immune system's response to infections, injuries, and, of course, inflammation. Cytokines act as messengers, transmitting signals that can help regulate immune responses and other bodily functions. There are different types of cytokines, each with different specific functions. We have inflammatory and anti-inflammatory cytokines. Pro-inflammatory cytokines, these are the cytokines that promote inflammation and help the immune system respond to infections or injuries. Anti-inflammatory cytokines, as the name suggests, these cytokines counteract inflammation and help regulate immune response. So there's also chemokines, are a cytokine that attracts immune cells to the site of an infection or injury. They play a crucial role in immune cell recruitment and inflammation. The role of cytokines in inflammation is complex and involving the release of various cytokines, and this is how it typically works. When your body detects an infection, injury, or other threat, immune cells release pro-inflammatory cytokines as a signal to initiate the inflammatory response. Pro-inflammatory cytokines promote the activation and recruitment of immune cells to the site of injury or infection. This action helps contain and eliminate the threat. Once the threat is neutralized, anti-inflammatory cytokines come into play to dampen the immune response and reduce inflammation. This action prevents excessive tissue damage and promotes healing. So why are these proteins so essential in your weight drop journey? Well, cytokines are essential for acute inflammation, the body's short-term response to a threat. Problems can arise when inflammation becomes chronic. Chronic inflammation is characterized by persistent low-level inflammation lasting for weeks, months, or even years. In chronic inflammation, pro-inflammatory cytokines continue to be produced, leading to sustained immune response. This long-term exposure is detrimental effects on the body, including tissue damage, and so prolonged exposure to pro-inflammatory cytokines can damage healthy tissues and organs. Metabolic dysregulation. Chronic inflammation disrupts metabolic processes, contributing to insulin resistance, obesity, and other metabolic disorders. It also increases your risk of disease. When you have chronic inflammation, inflammation is always associated with every disease process, and every inflammation is associated with chronic disease, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancers. So how can diet and lifestyle affect cytokines? Diet and lifestyle factors play a significant role in regulating cytokine production and inflammation levels. And this is where it gets really interesting in the program. So the diet, certain foods such as those on our list, either low inflammatory or carnivore, can help reduce inflammation by modulating cytokine production. And also, of course, it brings into play the anti-inflammatory cytokines. And they're the exciting ones because they can actually work at dampening down all the inflammation and help you really, really get healthy. Also, exercise, regular physical activity has anti-inflammatory effects and can help balance cytokine levels. Now, exercise is an interesting one because it's moderate exercise. So go for a walk or something that you've been doing on a regular basis that isn't affecting you or putting you into stress mode. It's also really important to manage levels of stress, like we've talked about before, things like meditation, visualization, things like Tai Chi, and even walking in nature, swimming in the sea can all help modulate your stress response. Inadequate sleep can also increase pro-inflammatory cytokine production, which emphasizes the importance of quality sleep. And of course, when you're eating foods that the body isn't having to stress over, you will find that you sleep easier too. It takes a few days, actually, maybe a few weeks to really get into the rhythm of a good sleep pattern when you're on a program like this. But I promise you, eventually it will improve. So, also, appetite dysregulation. Inflammation disrupts the normal signals between your brain and the digestive system, leading to irregular hunger and satiety clues. This is a sign that our hypothalamus is out of kilter, which can result in overeating and difficulty in controlling portions. I just wanted to dive just a little bit deeper around our fat cells and explore the key differences between white fat cells, which is white adipose tissue, and brown fat cells, brown adipose tissue, and why brown fat is often considered more desirable than white fat. I wouldn't say often, actually, always. White fat cells, which is your white adipose fat, is energy storage. White fat cells are primarily responsible for storing excess energy. When you're under stress and when you eat inflammatory foods, these cells expand to accommodate the surplus energy. Insulation and protection. So basically, our ancestors needed the insulation and protection during winter months. The white fat served as an insulating layer under the skin, helping to regulate body temperature and protect vital organs. This is the reason why we tend to accumulate more of these cells in time for winter, hence fruit in late summer, early autumn. Hormone production. White fat cells produce hormones such as leptin and adiponectin, which play a role in appetite regulation and metabolism. Where white fat cells is distributed throughout the whole body, but with larger deposits on the abdomen, thighs, and buttocks. White fat cells are, in appearance, basically white or a pale yellow, and it's due to low vascularization and fewer mitochondria. So you're not going to get much va-va-voom from white fat cells. Brown fat cells, on the other hand, as also called brown adipose tissue, is used for thermogenesis. Brown fat cells are specialized for thermogenesis, a process where they generate heat by burning stored fat. This heat production is essential for maintaining body temperature, especially in infants and hibernating animals. The mitochondria, the brown fat cells have a higher number of mitochondria, which are responsible for converting stored fat into energy and heat. This gives them a brownish color and a higher metabolic rate. Brown fat is critical in energy expenditure because it burns calories to produce heat. This has led to interest in harnessing brown fat as a potential tool for weight management. We won't go there. You don't need to. But it's really quite interesting. Brown fat is typically found in specific areas, including the neck, upper chest, and along the spine. Adults tend to have less brown fat than infants and children. Why brown fat is desirable? Well, it's pretty obvious, really. It fires up everything. But it's calorie burning, so generates heat and also can help maintain any weight you've let go of. It also gives you good metabolic health. And anyone with higher levels of brown fat have been proven to have a better metabolic health and reduced risk of obesity and all those related conditions. Scientists are exploring ways to activate increased brown fat activity. The only way I can suggest is basically by doing what we're actually doing, because then we can actually have an amazing metabolism and we don't need any interference. And with our Ultimate Detox, of course, we are also doing fasting, which actually helps increase the levels of brown fat because of various different things that are happening. It also, with brown fat, it helps you tolerate cold better because you're generating this wonderful heat, and really beneficial in cold climates, of course. And it also has huge health benefits, and it improves insulin sensitivity and reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. So all in all, brown fat, good guys. So it's important to note that while brown fat is desirable, both white and brown fat cells have essential functions in the body. We all need those white fat cells, but we just don't need as many as many of us are carrying. And so this is why we are really diving into this so that you can understand it. Now we've covered cytokines and fat cells. Let's quickly cover a little bit more about reducing inflammation for weight drop success. Reducing inflammation is, I feel, the key component of your weight drop journey for several important reasons. Balancing your hormones. Lowering inflammation helps restore the balance of hormones responsible for appetite control and metabolism. This can reduce cravings and make it easier to manage your weight. Improved insulin sensitivity. By reducing inflammation, you enhance your body's sensitivity to insulin, making it easier to regulate blood sugar levels and store less fat, because you're not in stress mode anymore. Optimizes digestion. Inflammatory foods can irritate the digestive system, leading to discomfort and poor nutrient absorption. A lower inflammatory diet supports better digestion and nutrient utilization. Of course, enhanced fat burning goes without saying. Overall, huge health benefits. Reducing inflammation isn't just about weight drop, it's also promoting overall health. Lowering inflammation can reduce risk of chronic diseases and improve your quality of life. By having low inflammatory foods, you are setting yourself up to having a much, much better life. Stabilizes your blood sugars and also means that you don't have rapid spikes and crashes in your blood sugar levels. So consequently, not only are your energy supplies much more balanced, so is your emotional well-being. The really important thing is making sure that you're having a regular structure of food and having time between each meal so that your body is allowed to rest and promote fat burning and improve insulin sensitivity, which is why, of course, we have our lovely intermittent fasting. And if you join us in the Ultimate Detox, we take you through a bit of a journey around slightly longer term fasting too. So what I would say to you is really keep on reducing the inflammation so you stabilize your blood sugars and support your overall health. By following them diligently, you'll maximize the benefits of the program and move closer to your weight loss goals. Stay committed, stay healthy, and you'll see the positive results you not only desire, but you know you deserve. Have the most magical